Hi everybody, Niklas Seidloff here. There is a new version of the IBM Collaboration Quickstart image available in the IBM Smart Cloud. The image can be used by developers who want to build social applications based on IBM Connections, IBM Domino, and/or IBM SameTime. There is documentation available in the AppDev wiki. For example, right now I've opened this document Architectural Overview that describes the specific versions of the products that are pre-installed and pre-configured. Those are Connections 4.0, CR2, Domino 853, FixSpec 3, and the SameTime Community Server and Proxy Server 852. Let me demonstrate now how easy it is to create your own instance of the Quickstart image on the IBM Smart Cloud. First of all, you need to navigate to the IBM Smart Cloud Enterprise dashboard, and then you need to sign in. Now, as a first-time user or customer, you need to register, and I've been told it can take up to 4 days until you will receive your registration confirmation. So since I've already done that, I can log in now using my user ID and password, and then I will see my personal dashboard. Right here I can see a list of my available instances. For example, this is the one for my blog running on Domino. And I can click on View Instances, and from here I see the button Add Instance. Then I can pick the data center. Let's take the one here in the United States, and then I can get a list of all the available images in that data center. Now I scroll down to the Collaboration Quickstart image. So let's see. Here it is. It's the IBM Collaboration Quickstart for Social Business version 2.0. So I can select that image and say Next. Now I need to give it a name. Quickstart Test April 25th, and I can select my server configuration. I use this so-called silver configuration with 8 GB of RAM. You can also change that to other configurations. And when you use it, when you create an instance the first time, you also need to add a key. Let's give it a name, Quickstart Test 0425, and then generate a new key pair. And you need to download this key because you need it in order to later access the image using PuTTY. Okay, so I save it. Done. Okay, now I can close this dialog. The key that I just generated is selected here, so that's correct. And I can leave all the other defaults. And here you can see the total price of 48 cents per hour. So now I can say Next, and I need to define some passwords here. Let me just do this. Okay, and then I click Next. So this is the summary. I can verify my configuration. It looks correct. I say Next, I agree to the license terms, and submit it. And now I get this confirmation that the provisioning process has been started, and it can take up to 30 minutes now, depending on your data center that you chose in order to actually get your instance provisioned. So right here you can see the new instance. I can select it, and then at the bottom you will get some notifications, and you will get notified when the provisioning process has been finished. Okay, so after 25 minutes I received these notifications here that tell me that the instance has been provisioned and that the instance is now active. However, my experience has shown that you should wait another 25-30 minutes because there are still some configuration scripts running, for example scripts that generated the test user accounts. After that, you can actually access the image in multiple ways. There's some getting started information right here, and you can find more in the AppDev wiki. One thing that is important here is or useful is the link to the welcome page. So you can just click it and it brings you to the Collaboration Quickstart welcome page. Here you can find the user IDs. Frank Adams, for example, is the one that I'm going to use in this demo. And when I switch back to welcome, you can see at the bottom here the links to the core components of IBM Connections. For example, I can open here the list of public communities, and I can also log in. So let me log in as Frank Adams, and I use the password that I chose earlier, and then I'm actually logged in here as Frank Adams. So this is how you can access the image connections via a web client using the test user accounts. And there's obviously more ways to do that as an administrator that I want to talk about next. So first of all, I want to access the image using PuTTY. In order to do that, I need the key that I generated earlier. However, I cannot use the key that I saved directly. I need to convert it first. And there is a tool called PuTTY Key Generator. Here I can now actually load my key. So let me navigate to it. All files. This is the one that I saved earlier. It was imported, and now I can save the public key. Let's call it public, save, and also the private key, private, to my test folder, and then I'm done here. Now that I've done that, I can actually open PuTTY and generate a new configuration. So in order to do that, I need to go back quickly and copy here the DNS name, because that's the one that I need to enter now here. I also want to save this as a new session. Don't think I have to do this, just say save. And now I have to configure a couple of things. Let's call it Quickstart 0425. Save, okay. And I need to enter a couple of things. First of all, the username, which is IDC user. Then I need to enter a couple of things here under SSH. SSH is the protocol used by PuTTY. So under authentication, I need to click this checkbox here, and I need to browse to my private key that I just generated, which is in the test folder right here, private. And let's see, I think that's it. Now when I go back and save this, I should be able to run PuTTY. So I can say yes, and it's now using my IDC user, and now I'm actually logged in against my image. And using PuTTY, I could now do things like could run commands that restart my servers, for example, or I could use tools like the WSAdmin that I need in order to deploy new iWidgets, for example. So I've done that, and similarly to PuTTY, I also can use WinSCP, which is a tool to easily access the file system of my image that allows me to copy files between my local computer and the image. So I can create a new configuration here, and again put in my host name. Username again is IDC user, and this again is the private key that I just generated. And then I can say login, and yes, now it's authenticating. And let me just make this a little bit smaller here. This is now the SCP client that, as I said, allows me to copy between my local disk and then the remote system. And this is, for example, how you can get the nodes ID of your administrator in order to access the image using the nodes client. And then last but not least, I can also use VNC. Now, in order to do that, I can actually not type in here directly the DNS address. I need to use a tunnel. So what I need to do is I need to configure PuTTY again. So let me close this. And I need to change a couple of things in the configuration. Oh, that's the wrong one. So I want to load my configuration here. and then I need to go to, where was it? Tunnels. And here I need to type in the destination again and the port number 5901, T as well, 5901, and then I say open. And now while I'm running PuTTY, I can actually use VNC and just the server localhost port 1, and then I say OK. And the connection is refused because I forgot one thing. Since this is the first time I run VNC, I need to launch the VNC server on the image. So I just say VNC server and I choose the port 1. It will require password, so I type in a password here. Okay, and this is now the password that I will have to use using the VNC client. Okay, so again, OK. Okay, so as you could see, that didn't work because I forgot one thing. So I need to go back into PuTTY and load my configuration. And when I go to tunnels, you will see that the source port and destination is empty again. And that's because I forgot one little thing, which is, so let me type that in first, 5001, and I forgot to press the add button. Now it shows up here, and now I can open PuTTY. And since I already started the VNC server, it should actually work now. So let me try it again. I log in, and now you can see that I get prompted for the password and authentication failure one more time. And there it is. On the Red Hat desktop, you can find a couple of links that makes it easier to find the key applications and important files and folders. For example, there's a link to the Notes data directory where you find the test user IDs, a link to the Domino web admin, to the Domino console. You can open the IBM Connections homepage here in Firefox, or as an administrator, you can open the IBM Connections console. You can also start and stop all these different servers, Domino, same time, and connections. And there's also links to these two log files here for same time and connections. And obviously you can run other applications like the terminal and Firefox. So this was a quick demonstration of the new version of the IBM Collaboration Quickstart image. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.